Hi, the business things and red flags that would keep you broke. We're going to finalize and we're going to wrap up the red flag series this morning. And we're going out with a bang. Bang, bang, bang. Yes, we're going out with a bang. Because I want you to know, I want you to understand that these red flags will keep your business not profitable and not being successful. And so I am going to share every last one of the ones that I feel in from experience and from working with clients that this will definitely keep you without success. Okay? And we're not having that because we're not in the business of not being successful. We're in the business of making a profit. We're in the business of being successful. So let's get into it. Happy Saturday to you, by the way. If you're listening at this at another time, this is Saturday morning. Okay. Now, the first thing, the red flag that can keep you broke in business, you have no business banking set up. You have no business structure. I talk about this all the time. You know, there's a few things that can happen because you're not set up. You will position yourself as not being separate from your personal affairs. That is the one thing when it comes down to a business setup and a business growth, people, you will not leave this step out because if you commingle funds, if a lawsuit come up for your business later on, then you're at risk and you can't afford, you will not put yourself in a position to be at risk in business. Not on that level. That will keep you broke because it can go after any great attorney can go after your assets. Now, don't think that you are above a lawsuit. Don't think that you are above someone that can just come in and just try to destroy what you have built. You have to be legally protected and always. And this is one of the ways, believe it or not, that won't cost you anything but setting up a bank account. You can be legally protected. Okay. Now, another red flag that we're gonna is gonna keep you from being broke is you have no follow-up system. You have no system to follow up with the customers. I spoke with someone last week that wanted to put their book on Amazon, right? And I explained to them the pros and the cons of putting their book on the Amazon platform. Well, if you're going to put your book on the Amazon platform, well, they're going to be able to follow up with your customers and your clients, not you. You won't even have a way that you can keep record of, who's the customer is so you can retarget them and remarket to them. Because in those contracts and in those agreements, when you sign up for their book, your book being published on their platform, there you need to read the fine print. And see, that's another thing. We don't read the fine print in business. And then later on it can come back to hurt us or bite us, or it can come back and it's not in our favor. So be careful with that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it, but if you're going to you want to retarget, you just don't need to start out that way. You need to kind of shift a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay. The next thing, that red flag that I definitely want you to be aware of and can keep yourself protected in the long run of your business is being consistent with your talks, being consistent with your identity. Anyone that know me, that know I've been on here since 2016, even before TikTok began TikToking, okay? I have been with my business planning, business development, business marketing, business strategist. I've been that all across the board all those years. There may be other subjects within wrapped up in what I mainly do, the big umbrella, but all of it is complementary to each other. It's not I'm all over the place. I'm not doing da, 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 da. I'm not doing all of these crazy things out here all over the place. Your inconsistency will destroy your ability to build a business, and it can cause you to being broke in in any business industry. So know where you stand, know your zone of genius, know your zone of success, know your zone, know your zone, know your jam, know your flow, as we as we would say, know your flow. Okay. Now, mm, now this is a big one here for a lot of us because we know social media can be cruel out here in these social media streets. It can be cruel in the business arena because a lot of times people that you have to deal with don't want you to be successful because they're not when you step out a lot of times when people see you stepping out being great doing great things, they are not looking at the fact that they can do the same thing too. So sometimes the world is going to be cruel to you in a way it can get you emotional. We don't want you to be emotional. Do not be emotional out here in these streets. Be a leader that stands on principles, stands on honor, humility, stands on, you know, reflecting, stands on good things. Do not be an emotional leader, okay? Don't be that, and don't be emotional. There's other ways that you can be emotional too. You can be emotional and you want to follow everything that someone else is doing, and you see the love, you see the love, shiny object syndrome opportunities out here. That's emotional. Don't do that because you will not get anywhere in your zone of genius in your line. Know what you want, know what you need to know, okay? I went to see that movie last night, the Michael Jackson new movie, and I want to give it into the details because I want to break that thing down. I was looking at that from a business perspective versus, I'm sure everybody had their own view on the movie, but what I saw in that movie is Michael didn't allow the emotional opinions of others. He didn't allow, he knew what the zone of genius was that God gave him, and he used it to the fullest, and he demand in a humble way, he demand the doors to be open for him, the room, the pathway was it was going in his favor, and he was strongly convicted of that. He wasn't emotional in all of this because had he been emotional in all of what he was working on doing, he would have handled things a little differently a long time ago, especially in his early childhood years. So that's all I'm gonna say about that because I don't want to spoil the movie. But it was a great. I saw the business side of it too, and I saw the emotional side of it, and I saw the whole person inside of that movie of what exactly um, Michael, some of the things that he probably went through in his life, you know. And so I say to you, before I go any further, I say to you is be the best that you can be in your own line of genius, in your own zone of what you're created here to do. Your creator, God created you for greatness, and you have so much to offer the world. So just take every day in doing the best you can do, being the best you can be, learning, getting in rooms with people that are smarter than you. And that's what I was just telling someone this morning. I'm in rooms where people are smarter than me because I'm learning. And look, I'm not in my feelings. I'm not emotional. Okay. I'm not emotional. I am learning because I want to increase. I want to get better. Okay. That's what we have to do. We have to elevate ourselves. Get out of your own way. Get out of your own way sometimes. Okay. All righty. Thanks so much for all this love over here. Get out of your own way sometime and get out of that emotionalism and get out here and get to the bag and get out here and get to the vision. Get out here and get to the legacy building. Do your thing. And you gotta sometimes people you have to guard your heart, you have to guard your space, and you have to love people at love them where they are, but please don't allow too much unnecessary drama and all that stuff. Don't let it take up your time. Please. Yeah, at all times. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, good morning. Let me see. I know some of you been commenting. I haven't been ignoring you. Just trying to get all of this out here for you this morning. Mm-hmm. Okay. I appreciate that. All right. Now, one of the next red flags that will keep you broke in business is going to be this: no cash reserves. Wow. Yes. In business, don't spend every penny or, don't spend all your money just because you start making it. And that goes back to the beginning of what I spoke of about not having systems in place, not having a bank account, just frivolously spending. When I first started my salon years and years ago, and I've told this story before, back in we used to keep our money in our pocket for the most part, and then we'll go to the bank at the end of the day or maybe at the middle of the day. It all depends on however we chose to do it. And a lot of these technologies and all of these other systems wasn't as readily available like they are now. But I'm gonna tell you, back then, they used to cost more to use the systems, the payment processing systems. They would cost more, and a lot of times you would have sales representatives coming around to your business, wanting you to kind of work with the banks on their systems, and they were, to me, was extremely expensive. They was getting kind of like they are now. They get so much of your each sale but the prices are much economical now. They're much lower now, and so for at some point and for a while, I realized that I wasted more money by not doing this thing that I'm telling you today. Don't have any cash reserves, which I could afford to have the cash reserves, but I didn't. And once I kind of looked back and saw, just having the money in my pocket, sometimes it's a different psychological thing when you have and just cash like that, and then you're not just per se sitting down and writing the vision and making it plain and then keeping up with having a spreadsheet or even having a QuickBooks software, which I knew, I started using it and I knew that I should have had that, but I didn't. Yeah, but I didn't when I first started. But once I got into the, flow of things, I realized that that was the best thing I could have done for myself and my business and my household. Because when I first opened up my salon, I'm talking about I really stepped out there, and I really, really, I was like, oh wow, what have I done? But I had the salon to pay, and then I had my household bills. So I had to have some structure, and I had to have it. I'm not talking about doing it the average way that I had been doing it like a couple of years ago when I was boofering and things of that nature. I had to change the way I did business. I definitely did. Because if not, then I was not going to be able to manage both the salon and the home. And then I was a single parent as well. So I thank God for that vision and that, handling that. Okay, the next thing is that will keep you, one of the red flags that you must listen to me with all of these, but some of them may apply to others more so than other businesses. But lack of contracts. That is a sure way of you having chaos in your business. Whether you having contracts with someone that's just going to do one major project for you, or maybe someone that you're 1099 not an into your business and you need them to do just one thing for you. Having contracts with everyone, even if you're in a consulting business or coaching business, having contracts with the people that you work with. Definitely having contracts is going to make your life in your world a little bit less stressful. For sure, for sure. Now, this next one is it's going to be pertaining to marketing somewhat, and also, hey, Karen, and somewhat it's going to be pertaining to marketing somewhat, and this is very important. The lack of operating without data. Now, data. Now, data is very important for you to know what direction you need to take in business. You will not Amazon, not but social media platforms, no one, anyone that's successful in business, not the, no one will not be successful. And then this is a good way of keeping your business at you just breaking even when you're not keen and you're not on point with the data. Now, the data is going to be you're going to have to research and knowing what's going on, knowing who's going to be your target audience, knowing what is the data of you even getting out here with your own business, knowing your sales, knowing what you need to do to be able to kind of like grow, and then maybe monitoring your data from the maybe 1 to 3 months and seeing what is the patterns, what are the opportunities that's coming up, knowing what you need to do. Your data tells the story and it allows you to be strategic thinkers in your business. How else are you going to grow if you're not strategic thinking about making a change and making a difference in your business? Okay. Now, this is a sure way, and this is a red flag of you not being successful. Okay? Now this one here, I know we are very, our numbers are high on videos at this particular one here, at this point, you know, waiting on motivation. You can't wait on anyone. If you're in business, you have already made the statement and you have already said that you do not need someone to tell you everything you need to do for your baby or for your vision. I know sometimes we get a little, you know, get a little, life be happening, as they would say. Life happen, things happen in life. But waiting on motivation is not one of your traits that you need to have. That is not one of the things that you need to be doing. If you are in business, starting a business, growing that business, motivation, we all need a form of, you know, sometimes we may be feeling low. We all need that inspiration at times, but motivation should not be one of them, people. I'm sorry. Motivation be, should not be. Motivation should not be. All right. It should not. And so that is a red flag there that can keep you broke too. Looking for motivation. No, you don't have to look for motivation. Motivation is not going to be one of your key components for your success. You need to already be motivated into what you're doing. Find the ways and be strategic and be creative of keep making yourself just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. And every day, just keep moving. Just keep moving every day. You got to keep pushing, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay. And the last thing I do want to say to you, maybe one of the last thing is no sales pipeline. You have to have sales. You have to have what strategic things that you're going to sell. You have to come up with the process of you selling, whether you're just going to do it maybe one-on-one with getting with someone, coming up with a system, coming up with the ways to house your products or your services, and making sure that you know the demographic or you know the people that need what you have. All of this is going to require you to getting down in your businesses and rolling your sleeves up, and making it happen. Roll them sleeves up and get in there and find out just how business is supposed to be ran, just how business is supposed to be structured. Okay. All right. And I know this doesn't feel good. Thank you. I know this doesn't feel good. I know this doesn't feel good. And you feel like it's work on top of work on top of work. But how are you going to be successful in anything if you do not put any work into it? If you don't nurture it, if you don't, set up your financial institutions like you should, if you don't follow up and use systems, if you don't have that emotional control, and then you're operating in the leadership that we know that you're so capable of doing. And if you're not structuring things and having contracts and really dealing with people other than handshakes, you have to, thank you. You have to do all of these things. And if you don't have any money set aside, cash reserves, you can't spend everything you get. And then I know once we are blown out of our original way of thinking and our minds are expanding to new territory, new different things, I understand that we want to go and spend and we want to go and do this and we want to, upgrade ourselves and we want to make ourselves look the part to people that really doubted us in the past, that really said, "Hey, we couldn't do this." And we're going to prove to them by showing them the outer appearance of how we're looking. I don't care how people perceive and see me now. What I care about is what God see that I'm doing with the gifts and the talents that he's gave me, and my tribe will come follow my vibe, or my vibe will attract my tribe. However, and so all of this is a part of what you have to do. Now, even operating without the data, operating without just knowing what direction you're going to go in. People, get clear on your area, your niche, your market. Don't worry about what's going on with someone else's world unless they intersect with each other in a positive way that you have to work together or you can collab together. Then I can see you maybe doing some deep dive investigating or learning more about that arena of someone else's business. But other than that, don't even worry about it. Stay in your zone, stay in your lane, stay in your niche. Do what you have to do to elevate yourself every day, not just a couple of days and jump back on it. No, this business is a consistent thing. Consistency is the key. Consistency is going to be your superpower. That's going to be your elevation. And it's going to keep you from being broke in business. So these red flags that I mentioned, I want you to really, really think about them. Take them, do something with them. Once you eat an elephant one bite at a time. You got to take this thing one bite at a time. Every day, you got to work on some area of your business that has some of these things in them. They may not be all in one day, but you have to, the journey of 1,000 miles begin with one step. You take action and you will get traction. Taking action is going to inevitably give you traction. It sure will. And as we stated earlier, motivation is not, you don't look already. That's when you got to do that personal development, because if you do that personal development, there's not going to be no need for you to need the motivation for anyone to do anything. It irks me sometimes when I hear people, "I ain't motivated to do it. I'm just not motivated." Well, you don't want it bad enough. I sometimes I hear that, but I'm just like, well, you don't want it bad enough. Yep. So it's all up to us, people. We're in times now that we can't wait on anybody to tell us what we can do and what we can't do, who we can be and what we wouldn't, what we're not to others. It's time for us to realize that we were created for something greater than where we are now. And with all the might in us, God has given all of us the tools, whether it's through other people, whether it's through, just circumstances and situation, or whether he's even given us the resources. We have the finances to do it ourselves. We don't have to depend on a bank or whatever. Everybody is not at the same place. Everybody's not taking the same journey. Everyone's different journey is different. You may need some aspects of helping your business grow than others. Some of us, we're all in different places and spaces in our journeys. Let's embrace our own journeys in this process, getting to the next level of us, not anyone else, of us. And when you embrace that, your life will be unrecognizable to the average Joe or to the average Jane. or to somebody else that's just not where you are. Stop accepting other people's opinion. I don't know where I'm going here, but must be for someone. Stop accepting others' opinions of who you are. I did that a long time ago. I ain't going back that road. And so I'm embracing what God has in birthed and instilled in me. So where I can help the people, the tribe, to do the things that God has put me here on this earth to do. And if for those that don't like it, I'm not your woman. Because I'm long past the girl. I'm not your woman. Find the one that's for you. And find the business coach, whatever that's for you. Because I may not be I know I'm not for everyone. I can be stern in my approach when I want you to, get to that level in business because I refuse now to pull teeth when I'm helping people in business. I refuse to pull teeth anymore because I used to just want it bad at sometimes the work than the person would want it. And then that was draining for me. And so I had to just pull back. If I'm working with you and I can say, hey, I need such and such at this time, you don't give it to me, I'm on to the next thing because I have more clients than you that I'm working with. And sometimes and if you procrastinate on that end, I'm already on to something else. So I'm gonna have to work with you when I get a chance because you wasn't ready when I needed you to be ready. And so whatever it is, just be humble in your approach, but at the same time, that's where the contracts come in, people. What I was saying earlier about the red flags, see, that's where the contracts come in and you having structure in your business. Because a lot of people don't have the structure. You setting up a business, you're not structured enough to get, you're not structured to get that made those major things done. And then it calls you to be without the funds that you can have because you didn't structure yourself. And don't let your day have another thing before I go. Allow your day to have its own direction. You give it a direction. You give your times a direction. You give your hours a direction. And you'll be going into the right direction for your, whatever you're doing. And so I'll leave you with that. And thanks so much for being here today. And remember, you were created for greatness. You have greatness within you. You have so much that people need out here in this world. You have so much to offer. Let's get out your own way. Allow you to get out of your own way. Okay? If you need me one-on-one helping you to develop your business, please reach out. The link should be wherever you're watching from. It's in my profile. It's in my bio somewhere. It's somewhere in my profile. You can find me and you can set up a one-on-one or you can see when I will be having a next, well, because I'm working on the workshop. Uh, it's going to be June. It's going to be local, very intimate. I'll be running the ads probably in a few days. And it's going to be for those that are serious. And so, anyway, after this one, y'all have a great Saturday morning, a great Saturday. I'm going to get some things done for myself. I just had to come in here and talk to you briefly. And then also, please eat healthy along the way. Take care of your temple because your health is your wealth. Keep that healthy as well. Let's not leave that one out. Take care of your bodies along the way, and that will keep you from being, you know, broke in business as well. Because you don't want to be spending all of your profits on medical expenses. Okay. All right. Yeah. Keep yourself healthy. All right. Do that for yourself. All right. Have a beautiful day. Talk to y'all later. Bye. See you later. I enjoyed this conversation. Bye bye.